Hey guys, welcome back to TCG University's Weiss Schwarz Study Hall. Today I'm joined with...
Hi.
Rex.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Connor.
Kyle, Rex, and Connor. Today we're going to be covering... we're going to go over our tier list. I wrote down 3 topics. I'm only having 1. I wrote down spots for 3 topics, and I knew we weren't doing more than 1. So last week, me, Oliver, and Andrew went over the tier list that we had all been working on. And this week, I'm going to go over it with them. I'm going to be doing more of like a mediator type thing. I don't want to sit and argue. I think we went a little long last time. And so I'm going to try and limit doing that. But also, I know a lot of people in here have strong opinions about things. We've already discussed how we've already discussed how it could end up going long. Before that, let's get into some of the normal stuff. If you like us, go out to Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, all those. Subscribe, like, comment, do all the cool stuff, guys. All at TCG University. We're live on Twitch a lot of times during the week. I know for sure on Tuesdays. And then like recently, like Fridays and Wednesdays, we've been live playing card games like Weiss Schwarz, Final Fantasy. I know Brawling with Brett is on Wednesdays as well. We have a lot of days where we're just out there streaming. So come and check those out, guys. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. If we're not on a service like that you want us to be on, just let us know. We'll get out there. Shout outs to... we also have merch. Check out our merch store, guys. There should be a link down below. And then shout outs to all of our Patreon sponsors: Addie, Andrew Dang, Anthony Albano, Bryce Rafstack, Chris Miner, Clay Cardwell, Jay Rogers, Drett Hubbard, John Stone, Justin Farst, Kat Maria, Kevin Broberg, Kieran Vision. Shout outs to shout outs to Oliver. Lucinda Letica, Okamiya, shout outs to Andrew, Paul Casagrande, Peyton Kiker, Samantha Stevens, the baddest bitch around, Sean O'Brien, Teodoro Ruiz, and Tyler Zane Pease. And this week we have 3 sponsors: Cards Custom Build. Check out the cool plaque behind me. Inked Gaming and Dex Protection, but there will be an ad at maybe some point this podcast. I'll have to try and find a spot to fit it in between the tier list discussions, but we'll figure it out. So before we get into it, how are you guys today? How are you guys? I know it's been a while. You guys weren't on last week's podcast, so we really haven't gotten a chance to talk. How are you guys?
I've been all right.
Dude, I'm doing good.
I'm doing fantastic.
Dude, I got unemployment paid today. I feel great.
Nice. I went to work today because I'm essential. I know. I don't. Really
You're
feel
essential because the government actually cares about you.
That's not true. I'm just a number. I'm a number in a system, man.
You are a cow with a tag.
Yeah. I put the yoke on my neck knowingly, you know? So Bunko came out today, right? Or was it yesterday?
Yes, Bunko came out today.
Yes, it came out today.
Recording.
So I don't want to talk too much about Bunko, but what are you guys' first thoughts so far? How are you liking it if you have some of it?
It is solid.
Dude, I love this set. It's so cool.
I think it's really swell. I wasn't expecting to get anything, but I like Akashic Records, and Andrew had a couple extra of the commons and stuff lying around, and so I bought them from him. But so far I was liking it. It looks really cool. I haven't got to play test it yet, but I have a deck in hiding. It needs like 12 more cards, so we'll get there.
I think it looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, like there's a lot of cool things in it. So let's get into this tier list. So last week we talked about the tier list. If you haven't seen it, you can check out that one. But I'm going to go over more of the intro stuff I did in that one as well, so you don't have to feel like you need to watch that one to watch this one. Basically, what we did is I had everybody, even Larry, who is not here currently, he never can really make a podcast. He showed up at the house today to play some games, or
and
at least to hang
not
out.
On the podcast.
Well, no, he usually works about this time, and I think he just went home to hang out with his girlfriend.
Probably.
You know? Like a good boyfriend should. So basically the way it works is I gave all 7 of us in that chat the tier list, and then asked them to tier them the way they thought they would. I have all the tier lists ready, and then what I took was I took all the tier lists together and consolidated them all into one list. Basically the way it worked out is I only tiered things S through D. It made it simpler. It also, like, funny enough, nobody, despite the fact that Kyle wanted to try and give things S and S pluses, nothing ended up in S plus and nothing ended up in F tier. Go figure. Everything actually ended up in the scale of 7 to 35, which was sick. So basically the way it works is anytime someone ranked a character as S tier, they got 1 point. That set got 1 point. Sorry, I said character. Anytime someone ranked a deck as A tier, it got 2. B tier, it got 3. C tier, it got 4. D tier, it got 5. Basically the way it worked is to get an S tier, you had to have 7 or less votes. You had seven or less points, which means you had to have been put in S tier by every other person. Everybody had to have put this set into S tier to put it on the S tier list. The way A tier worked was you had a mixture of like A tier and S tier, and you got those points selectively. So like the way it worked was if you had only S tier was the only one that had like that didn't have a range. S tier was just if you got full 7 points, or I guess we're playing golf, so full 7 points and down, which there's no way to get less than 7. If you got the 7 points, you end up in S tier. A tier was 8 through 14, and then 15 through 21, and then 22 through 28, and then 29 through 35. So I consolidated all our numbers, did all that, and we ended up with this list currently. Hopefully they put it on the screen. I won't guarantee it, so I'm going to read it to you guys. In S tier, in order of like points and what, S tier didn't matter. They both had points, so I didn't put them in any order, but AOT and Konosuba, everybody unanimously decided, I want this character in S tier. There were no debates about it. Everybody had it in S tier. So these are the only two I put in S tier because they have the full 7 points. In A tier, in order of like the points collected, we have Fate Rider, Bang Dream, ReZero, Goblin Slayer, SAO normal, just normal Sao, Love Life Sunshine, and Bunny Girl coming up in the rear of A tier. B tier, we have Fantasia Bunko. We have P5, GGO, Kantai, Fate Apocrypha, Sakura, Cardcaptor Sakura. We have Alicization, Sword of Alicization. And then bring up the rear of B, we have Tingatapa Gurlagan. Coming in through C, we have Rayview Starlight, Accelworld, Televeru, Fate Saber. I'm guessing everything. I don't know how we ranked that specifically, but
It was just there. That's where it was thrown.
Coin flip.
I just figured it was more of like mostly everything in first set, mostly everything in the recent sets, and then obviously Apocrypha. It's just kind of how I figured it was. But everybody ranked it and gave it like a normal ranking. It wasn't like no trash rankings, throw it in F. So like they were normal rankings of it, so I kept it. Then we have No Game No Life coming up after that. JoJo's, Love Live Original, Batman, Nisekoi, Madoka, and then bring up the rear of C was Miku. And then in D tier, we have Log Horizon, Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, Haruhi Suzumiya. We have Fate Ilya. Man, so many Fates. 4 different Fate sets in this fucking kill me.
And another one on the way.
Yeah, Geo's going to come out. I feel like we're going to get Geo. Fate, not Fate, but Kill la Kill, Disgaea. Then you have
Oh man, come on,
Angel
man!
Beats. Angel Beats.
You are a monster. How dare
I
you?
hate you.
Fairy Tail. And then bring up the rear is Bakemonogatari. So here's the thing. Earlier I was trying to say Angel Beats. And somewhere in my brain I kept trying to say Fairy Tail. Like every time I went to say Angel Beats, I kept thinking Fairy Tail. I'm going to put this out here, and I'm going to get so many groans from at least the two of you. I don't think Connor will really care. But I didn't think Angel Beats was that good.
Kill you.
like at all. I thought it was just run-of-the-mill life story thing. Had some cool things going for it. I liked the plot ending, the weird cliffhanger. I like all that. I still think it's kind of just normal like show. It's not too over the top to me.
I loved Angel Beats.
Loved it.
That's why I was like you and that's why I figured Connor wasn't going to care, but you two were going to groan about it.
Yeah, I know Connor doesn't care.
It was also one of my first, as I like to put it, non-virgin animes. Not Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's still normie.
It was my first time not watching one of the children's animes that we all grew up watching. You know,
I was gonna say I'll count it as a normie anime, but it isn't a normals anime.
It's not something that every kid our age.
It's not the
watched.
It's not the Dragon Ball Yu-Gi-Oh type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just going down the list, that way people have a reference for like how they ended up. Going down the list, AOT and Konosuba both got 7s. Fate got 9. Bang Dream and ReZero both got 10s. Goblin Slayer 11. SAO 12. Love Live Sunshine got 13. Bunny 14. Bunko 16. P5 16. GGO 17. Kantai 20. Along with Apocrypha and Cardcaptor both got 20 as well. Alice and Gurren both got 21. Review and Excel rolled 22, 23 respectively. And then Talovru, Saber both got 23. No Game, No Live got 24. JoJo's had 25 points. The original Love Live had 26 along with Batman. Nisei Koi and Madoka both had 27. Miku had 28. Log Horizon and Cinderella had 29. Haruhi had 30. Ilya and Kill la Kill had 31. Disgaea and Angel Beats had 33. And Fairy Tail and Monogatari had 35. Bringing the solid, literal, basic F tier to the list of all getting placed in D.
When do I get to Riot?
I told you there's an F tier.
When do I get to Riot?
Why do you want to Riot, Connor?
Cinderella Girls is not a D tier set.
It's not.
Dude, okay, so here, I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see. Okay, so going down the list, Cinderella Girls, Larry Hatter and C. Andrew, Cinderella Girls, bringing it up in C as well. Connor, C tier. Rex, you had her in B. That's cool.
Like very
Kyle?
bottom of the.
Kyle had her in D. I don't know much about the set, and I haven't heard anything about the set, so I just figured it was trash tier and put it in D. Sorry, I can't really do anything about that. I don't like. It's the same reason I put Ilya and Disgaea. I don't have enough information about that. But like, if I looked at, I know some things about Nisei Koi, and I know No Game, Batman, JoJo's are all normal stuff that like you can participate with. I know Saber used to be an okay deck when I was playing, and I heard Talovru was really good at one point.
It was, and I can
Talovru was super good when it was
which
released.
is why it did not end up in D tier next to Cinderella. Keep going down the list. We have Oliver, right? This is Oliver's list. Yeah. Oliver, who had Cinderella in C as well. So me and, was it just me? No, it was me and Kyle both had Cinderella in D, which basically the criteria of not getting put in the tier list is to not have any of those. So since they ended up with a D tier list from anybody, they're going to end up at the top of that list because you have to end up with almost like a perfect score to get inside that one tier. So like if you didn't end up with any D's, you can be in C. However, Rex almost balanced it out if both me and Kyle hadn't. If just one of us had it, Cinderella would have brought up the rear in C.
I see an argument for Cinderella and C for sure. Just based off the definition of how I was looking at my tiers, the way I defined what all of the tiers meant. Cinderella went in D.
Yeah.
Because it was a functional deck that it functions, but it functions with a bunch of mediocre / bad cards.
We're gonna get into it. But first, what I want to do is, there's fucking so many messages that I'm trying to make sure aren't important. I'm gonna do it the same way we did it for the other podcast, which I felt like worked really well. Is we're just gonna start at the top of our consolidated list, as you guys can see here, and we're gonna talk about each set and why we think it deserves to be higher or lower, and then we're gonna just continuously, slowly place things where we need them to be.
Okay.
So first, AOT. How do you guys feel about AOT? Think it belongs in S tier?
Yes.
Do you think it belongs in S tier?
Yep, for sure.
Unfortunately, yes.
What do you think its good points and its bad points are? That way, for people who are watching this the first time, have an idea of why it belongs in S tier.
So good points. It has really good selection. It has really good card advantage outlets. Its finishing power is very strong. Mid game is still solid, and some of the options you have early on in the game are very powerful. With the Arm and Runner and the Mikasa Runner, and then when you get into level 1 combo and the Arm and 1-0 as well, it's very powerful stuff.
Yeah, then once you start picking up the gears and everything, your deck filtration picks up, and you can actually block a lot more. It synergizes just very, very well.
So
Oh wait,
I
go for it,
agree
Kyle.
with all of those things. The deck, all the pieces come together to create probably one of the most functional decks in the game right now. But the other thing is, my criteria, at least for why I put certain things in S tier, was I felt every S tier deck had some sort of busted garbage that should have gone on the ban list, give or take, right? And I don't think AOT should have the best of offense and defense. The Armin and Mikasa mixed together is some of the most broken shit I've ever seen,
Armin's
and
just nuts.
that's why it deserves to be in the S tier, is simply because it's a functional deck with that.
Armin's broken as fuck.
If we're gonna go over the downsides, because we
Yeah,
have this.
I was about to ask what do you guys think the
yeah, go
downsides are.
So if you fall behind in the deck, it can be very hard to catch up. A lot of your cards can feel dated at times. For example, the Krista can feel dated at times when you aren't able to search your deck. You're having to search your waiting room. You also can, like, if you whiff gear, you don't have plussing triggers. Like a lot of these more modern decks that get to play their advantage combo and the finisher on a plussing trigger, you're stuck with 8 not plussing triggers. So sometimes you can't just get that lucky climax or two to put you back into the game.
Despite how strong that Aaron gets in general, like, because Aaron gets really big, I think one of the other downsides to the Attack on Titan deck is literally that Aaron has to reverse.
That's not a downside in most cases because you will get targets. You can bounce back to ignore or to generate targets.
He pretty much dominates the level 1 game against almost every deck it fights.
He doesn't.
Yeah, most of the things that it gets is power boosts for attacks, so it usually doesn't struggle with it.
If you whiff combo, then it can be really bad. But if you're hitting combo, then you are guaranteeing reverse targets the next turn.
One of the things I've been looking at is like I've been liking Charlotte's assist and the 0 green cardinal backup from Alicization, because it hard counters Aaron at level 1. Because you're not allowed to reverse my dude with Charlotte's assist, and I bounce my dude back to hand with the 0, so it just limits the amount of times they can trigger.
T definitely has a lot more counters than it did, especially when it initially dropped. But regardless of the fact that it has more counters, I still think you can't really.
I
can't
still
really
think
argue
AOT is heads
against
above.
the results. The
No.
results that it gets.
I just think there's a lot of options you can still look at. Like, I'm trying to figure out if that's gonna be a viable option to like deal with it. I think that's like one of the drawbacks is like if you have a way to counter the way Aaron reverses, you don't have to worry about it.
If you want to be able to have a more fair time against AOT, just play Memory Snow when it comes out, because Anti-Burn 1 stops the entire late game of that deck for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Just play Log Horizon. No
I think
burn in
AOT
general.
drops a little bit.
Well,
in tier
the thing
points
is, if you're
comes out.
oh wait. So the thing about Memory Snow is you're playing actual cards and you're not playing Log Horizon.
I get that.
Yeah,
I play Log Horizon. I get it.
Right.
There's like
So
one card in Log Horizon, right?
Yeah, it's the Shira.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's like the main
So
card that deck
we're
has.
gonna try and place this all left to right. Do you think AOT deserves the first spot?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
100%? Solid.
Yeah.
Okay, then
It
we'll
definitely
keep it
sits in
there.
front of Konosuba.
We'll keep it there. Then we'll move on to Konosuba. Then
Okay. Konosuba, I agree with
how
this.
do you guys feel about Konosuba in S tier?
Esther.
Yes. Tier.
I like it. I like it.
Once again, by my definition, I put S tier decks as high functioning decks that have some broke shit that should be on the ban list, right? For the most part, that's what I did for the S tier, and stock swap Fumio should not exist. That should not be in the same deck.
I think it's the fact of having the stock swap Fumio profile on top of having a non-interactable level 3 game is detrimental to a lot of things.
Yes.
The new set only makes it worse. It only makes it just crazy. I'm scared about the new set.
The fact that you can play upwards of 8 plussing triggers, and you get to have stock swap Fumio, and you get to have a strong level 1 combo, and you get to have probably the best advantage engine in the entire game right now, it's so pushed. I think the Resonate Union is probably the strongest advantage engine in the game, because it not only pluses on play to find its search target. It also continuously pluses you every turn, almost guaranteed, for 1 stock. You just have to hold a card in your hand that you aren't playing until level 3. So unless you're, like, I guess, bad and you clock it, you clock your resonate condition for some reason, then you will always have it, and you can always look at 4 cards to find a playable.
The only issue with Konosuba, and I don't know the movie set that well, so I don't know how this changes in the movie set really. But
He
the
gets
only
assaulted by
issue
a
with
dude.
Konosuba is if for some reason you don't win on that kill turn, you just eat shit and die. It's over. Like, you lose the game if you don't win on your kill turn with Konosuba, and that's kind of the issue. It's kind of a
So-
push your chips in and hope it works kind of.
So I think a point that Kyle brought up the other day was the reason why. Of course, we already know why it's S tier, but the reason why it's behind Attack on Titan is that it can't do anything to Attack on Titan if they get the change off first, because they get the hexproof. So they can't clock kick, but they can still get the burns. So it does like dim it down.
It belongs behind AOT because it loses that matchup.
It loses
Yeah.
it. That's,
It has
that's
struggles in other matchups as well, because trying to resolve Yun combo into some standby decks can be really problematic. Also
But I
against Sword Art
feel
Online,
like that. I
struggle.
feel like that part of the bad matchups kind of changes when the new set comes out. If you're a player that decides to run that double trigger combo.
Yes, but that's a discussion for another day, I think.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's a discussion for when that
that's a
set comes out.
discussion for when the set drops.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay.
So
So you guys like where it is right now?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then, Fate Rider. How do you guys feel about Fate Rider?
that shit's S tier.
I
So
can
good.
see it in. Well, let me
I
see
think
where-
it's super
where-
good. It is,
Yeah, I put
but I feel like there's counters around the
So-
corner.
my thing about the deck is that you have this like solid healing thing where you're like healing a bunch and you're using that to just tank damage over and over again. And if you ever get into a problematic state, there's a very good chance you can just flip your deck and refresh, draw your card off your free fresh, and be put back into a favorable state to where you're not in super risk of dying, depending on how the game goes for you. You're also on the most consistent plussing triggers in the game, and your level 1 combo is wanting to be fielded alongside a card you actively want to see.
I personally think that the only flaw with Fate is that its level 1 combo is weak as hell. Because it's a underpowered on reverse search combo, right? I think that's the only problem technically with Fate, but it's really not that big of a deal.
can find
Everything else
targets.
about Fate, like, it's just really strong. Like, yeah, it has counters. Every set has counters. AOT and Konosuba both have counters. Like, that's something that you can't get around in this game. Every set's gonna have counters, but I think it does a really good job of recovering. I think it probably has the best recovery game out of any set in the game right now.
Yeah, I think between its healing, the combo, and being very consistent at it, on top of being able to free fresh basically every single turn, is extremely strong about it.
Connor.
It says he has to leave again.
His Pop Tarts are done.
We can continue.
Actually, what it is.
So you said it earlier about like there should be like counters on the way. I want to stick to trying to more focus on just the right now. I don't want to look at what the counters are in the future, more of what they are right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of counters right now.
Yeah.
Not every single deck, but
Oh, yeah.
there's a good portion of decks that can have an answer to it.
For sure.
There are a good portion of decks that do have answers, but not all of them are running those answers. And a lot of times, for several of those answers, if you're fielding them, you're not doing other things that you want to do. So you're still behind in different ways. And I feel like a smart player can kind of play around those counters fairly effectively. And even if they get hit by those counters, the deck's, it's just so good at the recovery game that 9 times out of 10 it doesn't matter.
I will agree with what Connor said, though, is yeah, you have an extremely good plussing engine on top of filtration, so you don't have climaxes stuck in your hand. Plus, you're like constantly plussing.
Man, that's why I think it's so good and like why it deserves to almost look like it's in S tier. It's just that engine's so strong.
Yeah,
Not having to worry about the bad side to
that's
Gold
the
bar,
part
yeah.
of it that makes me think it's S tier. Is I'm sorry, that Brainstormer's too good.
Brainstormer's nuts.
It should not be 95% of the time physically unable to have climaxes in its stock. That is ridiculous.
That's what I was talking to you about this. You were fighting on it. You were fighting with me that we need to get rid of like the free freshers, Kyle.
I
was
think
telling
we
you,
need to
like,
I do think we need to get
it's
rid of the free
nuts.
freshers. My reason why is because I don't believe in making hits. Like if we were to implement a ban list today, I don't believe in making hits that make a deck
Oh, no.
completely unplayable. And if you get rid of that card, the deck is completely unplayable. You cannot play it. Whereas I feel like if you do what they did in Japan and hit all the other cards, you can still make a functional deck out of what's left.
I
if
just
you
don't
hit
think it
the
gets
other
worse
cards.
if you hit other cards.
Wait,
I think it gets
you
significantly.
think it's
worse.
unplayable if you hit what?
If you hit the
The
brainstormer.
brainstorm.
Oh, if you hit Brainstorm?
Yeah, if you
I think
just
it'll be
outright
weak. I don't
ban the
think it'll be
brainstormer, it's
gone.
unplayable.
I mean, honestly,
it's
there was. Go ahead, Tom.
Fine. But if you hit everything else in the deck, then the set's actually the current Japanese ban list. I'm pretty sure deck's unplayable.
I mean, I think you can play the deck without the Clock on Core and without the good Akatsuki. Just play the Free Fresh, the green Akatsuki, and like the Married Life Shiro. And while it's not like super busted, it's enough to make the deck function. It's just not obviously going to be S tier at that point if you were to do that same 3-card hit because we don't have the other cards.
I'm still unsure of that.
That's more
'cause
of
that-
ifs and ands, though.
That's what I was doing in my budget build, and my budget build performed very, very well.
So, what do you guys like Fate right here where it is at A tier, top of A? Where do you guys want to place it?
If it's not top of 8, it's S tier.
I think it's
It's
S
a
tier.
very powerful set,
Where
and
do
Yeah.
you want to place it?
I want to place it S tier.
I want to place it above Konosuba in the S tier.
I think
Rex?
after Konosuba.
I want to place it after Konosuba with Rex.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that, but I do think it's above Konosuba personally.
That's fine. You lost the majority vote. We talked about this before. Ha ha!
I'm not arguing.
Beamed.
I'm fine.
You're good. Okay. Bang
Okay.
Dream. How you guys
Leave
feel
that
about
shit
Bang
where
Dream?
it is.
This set also should be up there in the S tier.
Yeah,
This
I
set's
put mine up there too.
Well, I mean, I'm outvoted, but I would love to make my argument for why
Go
I
ahead.
don't think.
Go
That's
for it.
fine. That's what I want is like I don't
Change
wanna
our
argue.
mind.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
make the points.
So Bang Dream does absolutely nothing egregiously stupid. Birdcage is a really strong finishing combo. Cool. Every other decent set within the B and the A and the S tier has a really good finishing combo. Bang Dream can compress really well. Cool. Basically every other deck in those tiers can also do that. Right? The main thing that carries Bang Dream is the fact that it's got a really good end game. The toilet event is admittedly very strong. And of course bread event always helps, right? But none of its pieces are particularly broken except for Birdcage. And Birdcage isn't that broken. I'm not a big fan of Bang Dream, and I think a lot of the results that we see from Bang Dream is due to the fact that it's cheap as hell to build the Mocha deck. And so a lot of people play it because it's very easily available. And I think a lot of its results are because of overrepresentation in the meta.
Connor,
That's why
you have
I-
the
I
Connor,
am.
you have this
Connor-
look.
Connor has
this
been
look
ready to
that,
erupt.
Like he has this look that's like I'm about to end this whole man's career.
All right. So first of all, let me just say the Mocha deck is not cheap. That deck is expensive. There are a lot
I
of
didn't say
expensive
the Mocha
cards.
deck is cheap. I said
You
the
said
other
the
deck
Mocha-
is cheap.
You said the Mocha deck was cheap as hell to build.
That's why you said Mocha.
Or, sorry.
I think-
Sorry. I'm mixing up the names. Mocha's the
Anyway.
green combo, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The Mocha
that
deck
deck's
is
so
cheap. What
expensive.
are you talking about?
No, Mocha's like $30 each, and like the fucking level 1 combos also is $30, and Brainstorms are like $20 each. Anyway, ignoring price on that. Okay, so first of all, you didn't mention the Saya 2-1, and that's what makes that deck actually ridiculous because when like Yukina's good, but when Yukina you can't respond to happens, it's really good. Especially after you've been stock swap
Yeah.
Fumio'd. And it's like you've been stock swap Fumio'd, you are getting hit by a 3/2/2, and it's uninteractable. That's what makes Bang Dreams late game ridiculous and like on par with AOT and Konosuba in terms of like how ridiculous it is. The
Yeah,
level
so
1
basically it turns
wait.
that into something nearly like Konosuba because it makes it so you can't use your counters and everything, so it really makes it actually I would say that endgame potentially stronger if you could, jing more of those than Konosuba's endgame.
Honestly, the only weakest part about Bank Dream is level 0 because a lot of the cards there are relatively mediocre. I think the Drop Search is probably one of the best cards there just because it's a free 2-stall beater. But the level 1 game, you can adjust for meta. If you feel like you can get Fever off, then you play Fever Cosme. That card's absurd when it goes off. If not, you still have the Cosme level 1 combo, which is very serviceable and can still perform well in a meta that is not favorable towards reverses. And then level 2, depending on how you build the deck, you have different options in early plays. If you want to play Ron, you can. Otherwise, you still have access to Sayo. And then level 3, like I said, you have Yukina, which is absolutely absurd when you can't interact with it. And then if you, for some reason, can't find yourself getting reverses off with Yukina, or you want a safer, more compression-focused late game, you still can't play Mocha. Or if you want yourself on color with Ron early play, you can play Mocha as well.
I get it has a lot of options, and like I see a lot of those arguments. It's fine. I don't think it's wrong to put it in the S tier. I just don't, on my own personal list, based off of my experience, I wouldn't. It's never been a set I'm afraid of. I've never been afraid of Bang Dream ever.
I'm merely throwing out my opinions on it because I feel like it is a very powerful set.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a powerful set. Don't get me wrong.
So
Like
majority has the weight. We're throwing it in S tier. Where are we throwing it, boys?
Bottom.
I'm inclined to say above Fate, honestly.
Rex?
Where you want to put that? I was thinking of putting it like past Fate.
So like right here?
No, like
this is where Connor wants it. This is where Kyle wants it.
Yeah, I'm rooting on where Kyle wants it. I think it's right around that area.
Okay.
It's actually, you know what? I think it might actually be better than Fate. Just because of the 2-1. I think that's what holds it in front of it on top of the Toyota event. I think being able to just generate stock on demand is extremely important.
Is this the one that has the nuts? Wait, no, that might be Love Live.
Which one?
Has the nuts alarm?
No, that's Love Live.
That's Love Live? The one that just says free stock?
No, that is Bang Dream.
That's the okay. That's the one that's just like if this is at the top of your stock, get a free stock.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, nuts alarm? Yeah. You're talking about Persona.
Dude, that card is so good in that deck.
So hype. It's so hype. We need to bring it up when we talk about that set.
Oh, I'm going.
We'll get there. Okay, so Re-Zero. This won't be counting Memory Snow. No Memory Snow in this discussion. Memory Snow's not out. Fuck Memory Snow.
So Re-Zero has an anti-burn one.
Re-Zero. Re-Zero. How do you guys feel? How are you guys feeling?
I think it's S tier personally.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree.
S tier?
Yeah, just bump it right up there, like all the way at the end, and we'll
throw that shit out. Throw it above AOT. I'm kidding.
What's his strong points? What's his weak points?
I think the strongest point of this deck is that it's almost physically unable to have bad compression. The deck is so good at setting up its compression, and it does it straight from level 2. And if it gets into a bad deck state, it's so good at resetting its deck so that you can then reset your compression. Like
I think
it's like these wall decks in a sense, but it focuses more on its deck state than it focuses on its board state.
its level 2 game is like unparalleled.
I can agree. Well, I wouldn't say unparalleled.
I mean, there's some that
It's-
get close, but
The only
it's-
one that I can think of that is close to it is Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Because Sunshine, you can like look at
Dude,
Chica, but like
we-
sticking at multiple turns, like
we play. I just played against the Sunshine deck with Andrew. He dropped 2 level 3s on me at level 2.
that's normal.
Like-
that's
Like
normal.
a baddie. What a baddie. How could he do that to his friend?
Welcome
Yeah, he should have
to
dropped 5 because he's
Well,
welcome
then I
to
could-
modern day Weiss.
And then I couldn't get him out of level 2. So he did again on the next turn.
and
Like
which,
a rude
which,
boy.
which broke ass deck were you playing? Was it Log Horizon? Tell me.
It was Lock Rise.
Okay.
But I also every
Discussion
single time I
between
cycle
us.
through my deck saw 6 climaxes in my first like 12 cards. Every single time. There was a point where I hit the first. I had like 6 out already in like first 10 cards, and I went, "Cool, brainstorm." I had 2 brainstormers. I brainstormed twice and went, "Cool." We'll play the 0/0 that mills 4. We'll play the 0/0 that mills 4. And I think I went from having 4, it was like 10 cards out in my discard pile or whatever, to having 2 cards left in my deck. Just in like one turn from almost no discard to full discard. Just was like, and I still didn't get myself out of a bad situation. It sucked. Yeah, but that was nuts. He played
Sounds like that
2.
deck.
He played 2 of them. He played 2 of them, which was nuts.
Super cheap to do it for that set.
Oh,
But
it
anyway,
costs 3. It costs 3.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
So-
it's like he's playing GTO, but like 1,000 times better.
Okay, so ReZero. Sorry, we got a little
Yeah.
off track.
So
ReZero.
That's fine. So
Yeah.
I honestly think ReZero, like in terms of what it's trying to do, is a little bit worse than Fate, but you just have a strong level 2 game.
you have a much stronger level 2 game than Fate, and you still suffer from arguably the same problems as Fate, as being unable to finish a game properly. The ideal
It's-
is that you're able to use your level 2 game to close it out.
Its level 1 game is hella strong too. Like
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
it
it's
has
super
such a consistent level 1 game.
Mhm.
It doesn't like it's not like I think Aaron to me can be sometimes inconsistent. I don't see the inconsistency with ReZero. ReZero is just super consistent all the time, but it doesn't net you as much advantage as like AOT. AOT, if it goes off, just nets you a bunch.
hmm
Just off of like 1 card.
Well, I think AOT's advantage is completely different from every other
Yeah.
set's advantage combo, except for maybe
Yeah.
Union.
Just because of like it grabs something that grabs everything else.
It grabs something
And moves
it
something
goes
and-
+2. It goes +2 compared to every
Yeah.
other combo, going more or less +1.
Yeah.
Outside of Union, going like
50.
+1.5 if you want to count it like that.
And I think when we get to Goblin Slayer, we'll talk about that too. Where that to me, that's the only one that gets close to that feeling for me of what AOT is for like what its like advantage gets it,
Yeah.
because it's almost on the same level. So you guys like it where it is, where we have it right now, just
Yes.
right behind Fate.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So then Goblin Slayer, perfect segue. How you guys feeling about Goblin Slayer?
This
Set
shit is S tier.
The set is a solid A tier. Solid A tier.
It
How
is
you-
probably one of my favorite level 1 games.
It's a very very good level 1 game.
I think
What tier? What tier are you thinking, Rex?
I think it's like honestly, it's teetering between S and A tier, like exactly where it's sitting.
So do you want to put it in A or bottom of S?
Oh, are they both?
They're even 1A 1S.
Would be that
You're
guy?
the
Yeah,
You're the deciding factor.
honestly,
We can keep it
I'll
where
push
it is.
I'll push it up to S tier.
Okay. So I'm gonna put
it-
it right behind ReZero. Right here.
say it's better
Yeah,
than ReZero.
I think, yeah, probably. Just because you can actually bring that out at level 2 as well, and it actually does get bigger than the REMs. And, you are kind of relying on some RNG, but it's not like it's really bad RNG to be able to get the -3 soul.
I
It's
can
just-
see that.
Regardless of which build you play, it it's one of the most consistent sets in the game, and I think it's more consistent than ReZero, and that's really what pushes it. Neither of them have a particularly great finishing game, but they both activate at level 2. I just think what Goblin Slayer is activating at level 2 is stronger. Priestess, obviously, for me, is what I think the real build in the English meta is going to be, and I also think that Priestess coming out at level 2, if I had a ban list, the reason why I would have put Goblin Slayer in S tier is because Priestess coming out at level 2 should not exist. So my list would be you can run Priestess or you can run the Check 3. You can't run both, so that you can't early play the Priestess.
So
That's how I would
the
balance
reason
this.
why I think it's post ReZero is because, say for instance, you boarded 3 of them, you whiffed one of them, and then I anti-changed one of them. Your board state kind of sucks. Like that's
Like,
I know it's a what if factor.
when you play Priestess early, like depending on like the I'm playing I'm playing Priestess standby, so like I get to net a lot of advantage without having to spend stock. But like on normal Priestess decks, you have to spend a lot of stock, and you put your eggs in that basket. Once you make the play to drop Priestess on the board, and you try to like string out, the moment those are gone and you can't protect them, you're so far behind, it's unreal.
See, I disagree with that completely. At least in the experience that I've been playing, like you're only ever, I mean, unless you just like have the perfect setup, you're only ever really going to field 2 priestesses at level 2. You're going to field the third one at level 3. Even if you lose one of those priestesses for one turn, you still made your opponent use a bunch of resources to get rid of those priestesses, or play a card they wouldn't have played to get rid of that priestess. And Goblin Slayer's so good at just like getting exactly what it wants all the time that it doesn't really matter. You're just gonna be able to drop the double salvager and double salvage 2 priestesses off, and then drop those and grab more copies of your climax, do it all over again. The set's really good at recovering, and it's a completely free combo on attack. Yeah, it's a luck check, but like as long as you play smart, you're going to be able to get it off.
So one thing that I'll actually point out that's extremely good about Goblin Slayer is, of course, the torches are super good, but if you run a 3-to-1 ratio on it, and if you're able to pick up the bad torch every turn, and you have an open slot on the opponent's board, you're going to ruin their game completely.
You'll get to snipe things all day.
Yeah, the opponent can't do anything about that. That's something that actually
They have to make sure they keep a full center field.
Yeah, that one of, and it should be in every Goblin Slayer deck. That holds it just a little bit higher. That's the reason why I think it's still an S.
Like getting to snipe Brainstormers is nuts.
Also, just like hard winning the board at level 1 against I'm gonna say like 85% of matchups.
I was gonna say like 75, 65.
There are some matchups you can't win board against easily.
Well, yeah, like standby deck you can't win
Bunko
board
you're
against.
Struggle against. Sao you're gonna struggle against. ReZero matches you, and there's some things where I'm just
you almost won't be AOT.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. My issue with Goblin Slayer, I'm gonna actually like talk bad things here. I think
yeah,
they're good, but bad things. I think your cards get progressively worse as the game goes on, compared to other decks whose cards get progressively better as the game goes on. Because like your level 0 is really good, your level 1 really good, your level 2, all right. I mean, Priestess is high roll sometimes, but like if you
like it depends on the build. Like your level 2 high rolls really well with standby. And like standby really high rolls like your level games, because like your level 0s are level 1s, your level 1s are level 2s, your level 2s are level 3s and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like Priestess does the same thing at level 2, but like for most of the decks I've seen, you don't really run level 2 as level 2.
But then your level 3s, like your complementary level 3s to whatever game plan you're playing, tend to just suck compared to other options.
Yeah.
The TD Goblin Slayers, fine. The TD Priestess Healers, fine. The Sorter Maiden 3/2 is fine. The Witch 3/2 is fine unless you get out early. The Elf Archer is fine.
You have to run that combo. Like you have to be running those combos.
There's nothing egregious about its level 3 game outside of if you stick Priestess and it doesn't get answered, and if you get Priestess off early and it doesn't get answered, and you hit the top checks, like if all three of those things go off, then yes, Priestess is absolutely insane, and like, if you can get off for multiple turns, you're going and you're gonna win that game.
Like,
but if
there's no
if
support
Priestess,
for it.
if Priestess gets answered at all, or maybe you whiff a top check or something, you're in a much worse position than other decks, and it's not like you have the finishing tools to close out a game and cheese it like other decks do. That being said, I think the deck is still very stable and very strong, and if like you're going to a Swiss format, it's definitely one of the best decks to pick up.
Yeah,
And then just
I think-
hopefully outplay your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It would be pushed up a little bit further if you could still run Priestess and actually still get some form of net game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
think I
I
don't
think that's the problem is outside of Priestess, there's not a strong end game for
Yeah, but like
and,
if you're
Priestess,
really
Priestess-
trying to finish the game.
there's
I
no
would say
end game
that-
for Goblin Slayer.
I would say that Goblin Slayer is one of those sets that like it depends on the player that's piloting it more than other sets. Goblin Slayer's highs for both builds really are higher than almost any other set out there, but its
Debatable.
lows can also be lower than like Fairy Tales.
I-
Like, they can
I'm
be
not trying to
bad.
like argue a ton here, but I don't think you're high rolling nearly as hard as AOT Konosuba or Bang Dream.
Oh no. But like in terms of like you could high roll at third normal level. Like when you high roll, you're at the level of like normal AOT and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
when
but-
you're running high, you're running high. Like
I have other opinions on the set, but I don't want to get into huge
Yeah.
arguments about it.
I don't want
I
to
think it's fair where it's at.
Yeah. You guys agreed on it. I'm not gonna argue with it.
Let's move to
I'm
sport.
mitigating. So next one is just SAO original.
Avatar Net.
Sound, not
Yeah.
Flucklight.
Yeah, Avatar.
How you guys feeling? How you guys feeling?
I don't
bounce
like
between
putting so
A
many
and
sets.
S.
I don't like putting so many sets in S tier, but I do think this is like one of the S tier sets, if only for the fact there's a lot of good things going for it that I think we should discuss.
The
after.
toolboxing's nuts.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
I would-
toolbox thing is crazy. I don't think it's S tier. I definitely think it's like high A tier.
My issue is that it doesn't do anything egregiously stupid, but I keep bouncing between A and S because I think its results and its power represent an S tier deck, but at the same time, it doesn't fit my definition of what a S tier kind of means.
Its consistency of results is very hard to deny.
So are we
Yeah.
putting it A tier?
It just
That's your-
doesn't do
that's your guys'
anything
thing.
egregiously
I think
stupid.
that's the like consensus.
Yeah,
A tier?
honestly,
Front of A right now.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely
would
A.
say like top of A,
Okay.
Yeah.
which I think is
Anything bad you want to talk about it?
on my list.
Any bad sides you think?
I don't like depending on your build. Last shot's really good. Sometimes it's not as consistent as other finishers, but
mainly because you're
That's not,
smacking
like,
for
the
4.
greatest finisher in the world, but
Yeah.
it does enough to get there.
You have-
and that's the point.
you have other options, and I think honestly, Sao is probably the deck with the best secondary level 3 or best like secondary or tertiary level 3s
Like,
that you can play. In
It
the deck.
has.
Yeah, you have
me-
probably 3 routes that you could run, and it's like for end game, and it's still pretty good.
Like no
SKO.
matter how you look at it, when I look at it, it looks a lot. The level 3s look a lot similarly to the way Goblin Slayer looks at level 3, except their finishers finish.
Mhm.
That's like the only difference I see is like they're more toolboxy, but all of their end game can finish. The end game is as toolboxy as Goblin Slayer can be, but they have kill cards. They do something. They don't just
SKO is
like fall off.
about ending the game, not about stalling the game like Goblin Slayer. The thing that I think is best about SAO is the fact that SAO is probably the set more than any other set that can just like at a whim completely change its game plan. Like if
Yeah,
you get
you definitely
if
can.
you get put
The
into
toolbox
like
is nuts.
if you're setting up for something at level 1, but then at the end of level 2 you get put into a weird ass position that makes you need to change your plays. SAO is so good at just like completely changing its entire hand. to
Yeah, you
get
can
exactly
completely
what it
bounce
needs to
back
do.
with Sword Art, and that's something that is extremely strong with it. Like, I've been at level 1 and got smacked to level 3, and I'm like, okay, we're going to prepare to do the end game, and you're going to potentially die. You know, it it has a lot of options to be able to bounce back.
I also
Yeah.
think that the early play restander is broken. That card is
The
awesome.
Xenon? The Xenon's
Uh,
really cool.
Good.
Yeah,
Card
I
is
think
good.
it's Cena.
Yeah,
Card's not broken. Card's good.
I think the card's good.
Yep.
I mean, you just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
Okay, so let's get into Love Live Sunshine. We talked a little bit about it earlier. How do you guys feel about Love Live Sunshine?
A tier.
Yeah, definitely.
I do.
It's
Below
fine.
Sword Art.
Just below Sword Art.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's
What is it? What do you
extremely-
think guys think its strong and weak points are?
You're basically V0, but you're slightly less consistent. But in exchange for that, you have a much better finishing get power.
Yeah, you definitely have much better finishing.
That finishing power is strong.
I don't have a bunch of experience, but from everything that I just haven't faced the set a ton. But as much
I
as
played
I
against it
have,
for the first time today.
as much as I have faced the set, it's a set that's never put the fear of God in me. There's nothing egregiously stupid about it, which is why I don't rate it S tier. But I think it does kind of what GGO is trying to do, just like way better because its level 3s do things, unlike GGO's level 3s, which don't do anything.
It's
The two
just,
soul combo is really strong. It's got a really cool AOT matchup. I like that about it. But it's A tier.
I think if you're playing the deck with 2 soul, I think you're doing it wrong because it's too inconsistent compared to what Chica combo brings, even in this metagame.
I don't know.
One of the things Andrew was talking about when we were during the other podcast was how Two Soul's probably a better combo to run right now, just because of how much Nake Soul we have in the format with both Rider and with Goblin Slayer,
I think that's just incorrect.
and with Shaltir on the way as well.
I think Shaltir is completely irrelevant, but that's beside the point.
I'm gonna play the fuck out of Shaltir. Heal 3 at level 2, hella down.
I have to agree with Connor that is incorrect. The two soul's good, but I don't think it matters enough against the sets that
The defensive side.
that we're specifically talking about. I don't think having a two soul in your deck matters enough against.
Well, it's
Wall
not
up
even that.
decks.
It's that it's the advantage combo that the 2 soul brings is. I don't think it's consistent enough, but
It's gonna be
Yeah,
one of those
because-
things. Oh. It's gonna be while he.
I'll be back.
You're good. It's gonna be one of those things where the Love Live players who really want to play Love Live are gonna have to figure out how they're gonna combat the way the new meta is shifting right now, in this weird defensive format.
It's
Yeah,
just
'cause-
starting to show its age a little bit, but it's still so good that it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't mind showing its age a little bit.
For sure.
If that makes sense. Yep.
We just leave it in Sunshine here though.
It's okay.
think it's fair.
Yeah, I would leave it where it is.
Okay. So we're getting to Bunny Girl while Connor's away. Hopefully he gets back in time to give his opinion. What do you guys feel about Bunny Girl right now?
Dude, I will stand up and say that this set is amazing.
What tier are you putting it in?
I would still like to put it high A, like maybe above Sword Art. I don't know, maybe below Sword Art.
I think it's just below Sword Art. I think it is a
Like-
very strong deck.
Well, I'm playing the non-meta deck, and I think it actually is probably the stronger one. It runs the red Nautica that bounces the cards back, and that kills Fate. It kills Goblin Slayer. It makes both of their combos worthless, so they don't do anything. Honestly, I think it's amazing. And plus, the fact that there's a card in there, you can just search for a climax.
We
Are you
moved
playing
on to
Standby with
Bunny.
that?
Oh, okay.
We're on Bunny Girl.
I know. Are you playing Standby in that build?
Yes.
Okay, I'm playing that current build right now of Standby with Nautica. I think it's really good. My personal opinion is I think this is a mid A tier set, rather than
Yeah, that's
high A
that's
tier.
for. We're thinking of putting it between Sword Art and Sunshine.
I think it goes below Sunshine. I think you're doing a lot less powerful things than Sunshine overall.
I
you're-
think it goes above Sunshine because I think its AOT matchup is a little better than Sunshine. Actually,
Well,
I think that's
so
what kind of pushes it up.
My issue with the set is you have like this cool double early play thing. Your stuff's super weak, and you can't protect it easily, and you're also still having the struggle of finishing the game, even though you have the Nautica combo, which is
Top check
middling
four.
at times, and then you have the Unverse Pay 1, Discard Burn 1. I'm just like, I'm really shrug on this set.
Do you play
fine.
the TD red card?
I don't, because I don't think the card's worth in it. The space. I'm
The
also
burn
like,
5?
yeah, I'm also trying to find spots for like other cards, because like I'm sitting here, I'm running like 2 of the bodyguard or the great performance, or whatever. Like 2 of the Koga 3/2, like 3 Nodoka 3/2, 1 Shoko 3/2, and 4 Kaede 3/2. So like I have a bunch of things everywhere, and it's hard to fit in cards in different places. Well,
Yeah, I honestly,
randomly
I really love the level 3 combo, and honestly, I focus on fixing that thing, and I love it.
The other issue I have with the set is the lack of deck control. You have very little deck control. Even like if you have to play
I
the
would agree
blue
with
1/0
that.
event, I'm like I play it, but it feels really bad to play.
I honestly play it as like a one-off.
I play 4 or 3, and I play it out of necessity and not because I feel like it's actually a good card. And that's, I think, a problem with the deck, like a massive problem with the deck.
Yeah, I don't traditionally play a bunch of them. I actually play the SC Tomo Koga in placement. To some of them, I like to control when my deck is going to flip by actually just, throwing triggers in mid game.
I don't play any of them.
It also throws the Red Nautica in there, so I guarantee that it's going to be there when my deck flips. So when I go to change to it, it's there.
Oh, I don't even play the Changer. I think the Changer's not worth it, but that's my opinion.
I only play it because I get to heal.
That's fair.
That's about
You have
it.
a lot of healers in that set.
It's also a quad color deck, so
Oh, okay, sure.
you can consistently do it because of the 2/1.
Your
Sure.
quad color decks, man.
I
you
like
guys-
quad colors.
You guys like where we have Bunny go right now? Just right after.
yeah.
I'm not opposed to it below Sunshine. I do think it is above Sunshine, but if we want to rate it below, I'm not opposed to it.
How are you feeling, Rex?
Feel like it should be above Sunshine, but I think I'll be content with it being right there.
Okay. So we'll leave it right there. Okay, so we have made it through A tier. We're gonna take a little ad break here, guys. Cut in the middle of this, and then when we get back, we're running longer than I thought it was gonna take for us. But I guess I did kind of expect us to get a little more argumentative, and we haven't. But we've been a little longer than I thought we were going to. So we're gonna not like speed through it, but maybe not spend as long on each set when we get back from the break. So let's go to the break, and then when we get back, we'll get right back into it. Yeah. We've been going for.
To be spending less time.
How long have we been going for?
Because most
we've been going for an hour.
Right?
Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
not.
Okay.
I was not expecting it to take this long.
We're not
think-
even halfway.
Yeah, I think when we cut to like Persona or GGO, we should just like start speeding through things.
I figured we finished B tier, but not like taking as long because we kind of spent
Oh, yeah,
the last couple of ones.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
we get through B tier, we get through all like the rogue decks.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
think
then when
once
we
we
get-
once we
yeah.
finalize the last couple of A tier sets, because I think there's some B tier sets that should be argued into A tier. I think once
there.
we kind of finalize that, we can,
It'll probably iron itself out.
especially
on-
once we get to C and D, that we'll mill.
Because like
through
we
those.
did move a lot of these around so far. So
Personal opinion, I think it's that Dairymass and Kill Kill, maybe not Kill Kill,
Dairymass?
but Dairymass, yeah, Cinderella Girls, Dairymass is rated
Oh, okay.
is rated
Never heard it called that.
criminally low, and that should be like it should be above Madoka and C tier. Like, come on,
Oh,
some of the
it
cards-
really is.
Wait,
no.
okay,
What,
in
what are you
uh,
talking about? Long prices in D tier.
a set with like an Azusa that actually checks for relevant colors, a Ricky, a salvage brainstorm, a reasonable level 1 combo. Should
Yeah,
like
for real.
should at
Apple
least
combo.
be like above Madoka, because Madoka doesn't even have like a reasonable level 1 combo.
Yeah, dude, I test played a game with IMAS earlier. I didn't clock for 5 turns, and I still had like 6-7 cards in hand.
There are
And
so
I
many.
didn't even climax combo.
There are so
In
many better
hindsight, I
cards.
was mean to that set when I was rating it.
I think that it's even got better cards than Nisekoi.
I would
We'll get-
agree,
hey,
and I
hey,
love
hey,
it.
We'll get hey.
Hey.
We'll get into it.
I
well,
am just saying it's criminally
guys-
low.
We'll
We're
get
just
there.
We'll
getting
get-
into it
we'll
now
get
because we
there.
don't want it
Yeah.
to be 2 hours when we actually talk about it.
Okay,
3,
that's
2, 1.
all right.
Welcome back, guys. Back from that ad break. I had to cut them off because they were trying to get podcast done in the ad break. Can't be doing that.
Look, we have
Big brain mode.
and-
When you're arguing memes, you gotta argue hard.
Okay,
Oh, exactly. Memes are the only thing to argue
we've been
for.
going for quite a while, guys. So we're gonna try not to spend not like speed it up, but like spend too much time on every single one. We did a lot of moving around and a lot of argument of trying to change zones. We're hoping that towards the end of B, we'll figure this out and not spend as much time trying to argue into other tiers, but more of arguing more of where it shifts rather than it up or down. Left or right is more what we're worried about mostly now. After B at least. So top of the list for B is Fantasia Bunko. How are you guys feeling?
Get that up in A
Get it-
tier.
Yeah, get it up in A tier. This set's
A
way
tier?
better than B tier.
Okay. Where are we
Yeah,
putting it?
standby gets a big mid game.
I think it's just below SAO.
I put it above Bunny Girl, below Sunshine.
Rex?
I was thinking it was going to be below Bunny Girl, but
So we have
I
three different
think it's
spots.
gotta-
Somebody has to budge. You guys are everywhere. Here.
Wait.
You
Okay.
guys have to figure it out.
just put it
I-
between Sunshine and Bunny Girl.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can budge there.
Plus, we
I-
really don't have any showings to really say
Yeah.
it, so
I mean, yeah, but
it
the
did just
fact
come
that
out today.
it's the face of an entire meta in Japan is a relevant top thing to bring up. Like it's the literal face of the standby meta. The 8 standby build is just egregiously stupid. This dumbass card, wherever my camera is, there it is. This dumbass card shouldn't exist.
I don't even
yeah,
know what that
the
card
2-2.
does.
It's a 2-2-11-5 if you have 2 back row.
Enormous.
Ah,
Yeah, it's huge. And I
I
think
mean,
it's just
standbying that out
really
at level
good.
1 is the main topic of that.
I think it's really good at just like more than other wall decks. Oddly enough, I think it's better at actually walling in terms of board presence. The stall game at the end is not like the greatest stall game, but it's still strong enough to get you there.
My issue with the deck is it has conflicting parts of its game plan occasionally. Your mill is are cards you actively want to field early to get through your first deck. But the issue is that if you play wall cards, so like you play the 1/1 and you play 2 of them or something, and you get the 2/2 up there, you don't have the space to get your deck control in earlier on. So it can lead to some problematic deck states if you wall too early. But you want to also try and actively wall when you can.
Possible. I don't know. I haven't been testing the deck that long. I picked up this deck like a month ago. I want to
I
say
picked up my deck today.
was when I started working on the build.
Same, James. I don't own it, but yeah.
So I don't have a ton of experience, and also standby is kind of new for me. I've never been a big standby guy until I picked up this deck, but I don't know. Just the 8 standby build, just being able to bring out, specifically being able to wall out basically on your second turn, like half of your games at least. That's egregiously stupid.
Like, that 2/2 is good. That 2/2 is like super good. Almost to the point to where I've heard people saying that they just don't want to play a level 3 game.
Oh yeah,
like-
'cause they just,
oh yeah. Half the time I play the deck, I don't field any level 3s. I just sit on that 2/2.
'Cause, like, it would just be
other
easier to
than
play
the back row
for-
level 3.
it would just be easier to play for that. And then if you ever just can't use it or whatever, just shitter out the damage.
So
Just
I
like-
originally said it would be below Bunny Girl just because its end game doesn't do a whole lot with the standby build. You just heal
Yeah,
and get big.
I mean that's kind of the same thing Bunny Girl does, but I think Fantasia Bunko has a better mid game. Like the level 1 to 2 is a little better than Bunny Girl.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I'll definitely keep it there because if Fantasia gets there first, Bunny Girl is not going to get a combo.
I also think that it's just got an in general better AOT matchup, which very much matters. And this card, until I read it today, I didn't realize how good it was. This card is egregiously stupid.
Is that the 2/0 backup?
the anti-trait from board backup. That card,
Yeah.
it's
This card's
fantastic.
nuts.
It's super good.
Just
Like it shuts
being-
down so many decks. Like
It shuts down Attack on Titan if they have double Armin on the board. That's what's dumb about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I think it's good where it's at.
Yeah, it's fine where it's at.
okay. So then we'll move on to P5. How you guys feeling about P5?
Get that
Keep
shit
it in
up
B
A
tier. Keep it in B tier.
Rex,
I think it's fine in B tier.
B tier. Okay.
Make me cry.
Why are you guys feeling this way?
It's outdated, but it still is powerful enough to do things.
Yeah, you could definitely still play a tournament with it. You can still pull off an end game. It just, it's RNG based, but you can still like do other things to accommodate for it.
Going off purely results, yeah, it is B tier, but I just think its card pool is a lot stronger than people give it credit for, and I also feel like a lot of people that are playing P5 aren't really playing the most optimal build that they can play. And I think
He's
that
mainly
has a lot to
speaking
do
of one
with
card.
It's not. I'm joking when I'm talking about that card.
Cat Bus, right? We're talking about Cat Bus.
Me and Rex built a meme deck that was running P4 and P5 cards like a week ago. That was designed to like set up triple suiciders, triple level 3 suiciders with this alarm card that's in the set.
Yeah, the faulty of it is it doesn't have the thief trait. Otherwise, it would be ran more often in other decks.
Cool.
But anyway, I think if people that owned P5 would play just the most optimal build that they could, the deck would start to see real results. Not just like 1 or 2 tops every year like it does right now.
The thing about it is it's a very technical deck, and setting up for the late game perfectly actually is possible. And I think it is somewhat consistent in the very powerful builds. Problem is it's a very it's on the player completely to try and set it up and not get blasted out of the game beforehand. If it goes off, you can get like double jokers and just do absurd things, but sometimes you just can't get there, and
There's
that's
kind
where
of
the
a skill
bug issue.
cap.
Yeah, you definitely got to know what you're doing
so
with it.
good at this game to be able to play P5 effectively. Otherwise, you're just going to get like mowed over by people. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Alright.
The amount of effort to play the deck is not worth taking into a tournament most times.
Yeah,
Solid.
it's one of those things you don't want to hold yourself to a high skill point and then you whiff one little thing and it changes the entire game.
I can get behind that. So let's move on to GGO.
Oh, that shit needs to be lower.
Bad
I don't
Sal.
think-
Bad Sal.
It's
It
B.
doesn't need to be in C tier, but it does need to drop in the B tier.
So
Like,
right now we've only went to B2. So right now we're up to B2. We're right here. This doesn't exist yet. This technically doesn't exist.
Yeah, just leave it in B tier. It's
We'll leave it right here for right now, and we'll move it from there.
Yeah, we'll move some
bottom
things in front of
the
it.
Existing sets we've talked about.
yo, I love Sunshine Light.
Like
yeah,
I like
it-
2/3 of what it offers.
if you want to play Sunshine, with an anti
Play
burn
Love.
one card every once in a while, but that you can't control, and your level 3 game does nothing, then cool, play GGO.
It doesn't
because
do-
That's what that said.
It doesn't do nothing. It does little, but it doesn't do nothing. I think
it might as well do nothing. It's level 3s that it early plays, just like they're so costly for what they actually do. I think pitch 2 to burn 1 on that one len is dumb, especially when every level 3 that you're running in that set is a burn 1, or it might be a burn 2 if you do some weird bullshit if you're running the or if you
If
luck
that combo
into it if you're
sucks.
running the yeah, I would agree. I think that combo sucks too, but some people run it. Put your hand
Hi,
down.
how's it going? I think if you go up to somebody and they're like, "Hey, I want to play Sunshine because I think it's a really cool deck," but I don't have $500 to drop on the deck. You
It
just
went
give them
down. I thought it
GGO.
was $700.
Whatever it is, some absurd number. Just give them
Yeah,
GGO and they'll be just as happy.
I would agree.
Or-
GGO plays the same. It's just not as good as
Yeah,
Sunshine.
I just call it Sunshine Light.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you guys feeling about Kantai, our next set?
I like it in A tier.
I agree with it in B tier.
I think it's better than GGO.
I would agree with that.
Is it better than P5?
No.
Oh yes, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Consistently, yes, I will give it that. But if P5 pops off, then it would be better than Kantai. But I think it would be technically better than P5 in consistency.
I don't think Kantai is better than P5. I think Kantai is starting to show its age. Its endgame isn't particularly fantastic anymore. The compass counter's cool, but the anti-salvage card is only so relevant.
It's
The anti-heal card got better though. I would say that the anti-heal card got better. But it's not a set that you fear anymore. It's definitely not. The age is just catching up to it. The cards are not as good as they were when they came out. And that's basically what it was.
I'm going to speak on the contrary. I think that the set is it's a very above average set. Nothing is egregious. Nothing is bad. And I think anti-salvage isn't worth playing. I think the anti-heal is really good. The level 1 package of like this whole act into walling setup is really good. Prince is consistent especially with the climax searcher. The level 2's fine, and your top end was never amazing in the first place. Like when Kantai set 1 came out, then sure, yeah, your late game was good, but like when Kantai 2 came out, your late game was never amazing, and you weren't playing for your late game, you were playing for your mid game, especially in that deck when you were playing to wall at level 1, just like the current deck is trying to.
It doesn't have a brainstorm, right?
It
You don't need it.
doesn't, but you don't need it.
No. It has a brainstormer. The compass is a brainstormer.
I
Fact.
mean, so is Torch. Okay, so you guys like it. So where are we putting it? Guys?
Above P5.
Above
Yeah.
GGO, below P5.
I say above P5.
Above P5? Okay.
Yeah, that's mainly just due to its consistency.
Okay. So then let's get into Apocrypha. How you guys feeling in this one?
I'll put that shit above Kantai.
I think it's
Good.
above GGO. It's still a B tier set.
I think both of. I think
might
it is
be-
top of B tier out of the sets we talked
How
about.
how you feeling, Rex?
I mean, its end game is incredible, but like you have to. I mean, I've only tested Blasted Tree. I don't really know how much my opinion is gonna matter. I mean, I would still say it's like right around Kantai. Maybe better than Kantai.
Where am I putting it?
I think it's fair to put it above P5. I don't think it's fair to put it above Kantai, but I think it's fair to put it above P5. I think Kantai does, on average, more powerful things.
Anybody against this?
I think GGO has an extremely powerful mid game, provided it doesn't face some bullshit like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but what about Apocrypha?
Sorry, I said GGO. I meant Apocrypha.
Okay.
I think Apocrypha has a really strong mid game as long as it doesn't face.
I
some
just thought you weren't giving up on the
bullshit
GGO argument.
like AOT. No.
Yeah.
I was misspeaking.
Okay. So do you like Apocrypha here between Kantai and P5?
I'm not opposed to it, but I really do think it's better than Kantai.
Rex?
I think it's fair where it's at.
Okay.
Just terms in longevity of the whole game.
Yeah.
I think it has access to 2 very strong end games. One of those end games being probably the highest ceiling end game that you can play in the game. If you can pull it off, that is the key word, is if.
What are you trying to pull off?
The Blasted Tree. If you can pull off 2 or 3 blasted tree, that's probably one of the highest rolling end games that you can pull off. Simply because it's 9 pings for discard 3, which is really, really strong. And you get to compress 3 cards into your memory, which is also very, very strong. And you get to triple heal.
That sounds a lot, actually.
It's a lot. It's a
But
lot.
I'm guessing it's a random trigger.
No, you have to get 3 reverses, and you have to have 6 specific cards in your hand. If
You also
can
have
do
to
that-
have a Rider
You
of
have to
Black in
s-
memory. I think it's
and
Rider
you
of
also
Black.
have-
6 specific cards?
You have to have 3 copies of Sieg to pull off a triple of the combo. You have to have 3 copies of Sieg on the board. You have to have 3 copies of Fafnir in your hand, and you have to have 3 copies of the level 1 combo in your memory. If you can pull that off, you can pull off triple of that.
Yeah, that's why it's probably behind.
Can I
Conti.
drop this to F tier, please? Why the fuck are we talking about this? That is a 9-card combo. 9
Okay,
cards!
Okay, I'm going to speak in defense of the other build. Consistently, it still does some of the same things. It doesn't have any dig for its climax combo, but Fafnir is still serviceable. Its other level 3s are very serviceable. The level 1 combos. If you play John, then you don't need to reverse, but you get less out of it. If you play Astolfo, you're trying to reverse with a 6k, so have fun with that. However, you do get a potential +2, and you're on a plussing
Sounds like
trigger.
some Alice problems. Yeah.
Mordred 2-1's egregious, and I don't know entirely why that card is exactly printed as it is, as a 2/1 2-soul beater, but whatever. Otherwise, I think
the other build is really strong. I think they're both roughly the same power level. I think there are benefits to the other build and benefits to like I think the blasted tree build high rolls better. Like it can high roll way higher, but the lows of the other build of the Saber combo build or the Fafnir and John whatever. Those combos, right? Though the low rolls are not as low as the blasted tree build, because the blasted tree build, if you don't get set up, can also just do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just its high rolls way higher.
I definitely think that Conti has like a better consistency flow in endgame versus Apocrypha.
So then
I would agree that it probably has a better level 1 game than Apocrypha.
let's just move on to the biggest of all the Black Horse decks, the Dark Horse decks. Sakura.
I need to actually look where I put this.
I actually like Sakura. I had it bottom of A.
Hey, top 4 worlds, my guy.
I had it in B.
I think I had it in B. I'm pretty sure I had it.
I like this.
Rex had it at bottom of A.
had it
Connor
middle
was mid B. Andrew had it middle high B. Larry had it A as well. Nope, wait. Am I just not seeing it? I'm a blind ass bitch.
He
He has a bottom of C, but I don't think his was in like order. He had his in C. Kyle had his in B. I have mine in A. But I like the almost the not the toolboxiness, but the availability of the builds you can play with it.
So
and I don't know a lot about it, but I know it plays well at Worlds, so I put it up in A.
I
Then
don't
we have
know what
Oliver
the-
with B as well.
yeah, I don't know what the main build is, but I played Reflect, and I actually really like Reflect. I mean, like it's.
I think that was that's the red one, right? Is that the red one?
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
right one.
That's the one
Yeah,
that topped at Worlds, I believe.
Yeah,
Was
it just
was a
makes it so the
Reflect.
opponent can't deal damage, and it pings them a few
It's
times.
it's Neg Soul 1 and then Anti Burn and Reflect Burn 1.
Yeah, and then you also gain, because you play Reflect, you get a clear card.
Yeah. I think this set has some cool toolboxing options. The 2/1 Sakura is one of the coolest cards I've seen in Weiss. Just from
The ones
You
that just
can still get
change
options.
into anything.
the one that changes into 4 different things. It's really cool. It's really flavorful.
Yeah.
And I think players currently should be on either Record or Siege. I still think to this day nobody's actually fully solved Sakura. And I think Record or Siege are the two most powerful options for the deck, as they provide the best mid games into
But Reflect's the only one that's topped.
Shrug.
I think
Reflect has the
provided
biggest
some-
result.
I think provided that something crazy doesn't happen, Sakura will pretty much, just because of how it can adjust its builds, will pretty much always be somewhere in the B tier.
It can fall to 8. It can
just
fall to
'cause-
C tier.
I think
like
it could
maybe,
rise. Like if it got a second set, like I don't know about the show or anything because I haven't watched it yet.
It
But like
can-
if it got a second set, I could see it jumping because like
all
it has the
JP cards
toolbox.
came out here.
It has the
Uh,
toolbox. It has the toolbox style of like SAO.
It can easily get a second set if they get the rights to it, because they only used the first half of the series, which also still ended on a cliffhanger. However,
But, like-
it's interesting.
I think just like already looking at it, it has a lot of toolboxiness that SAO has, but it doesn't have all the pieces that SAO has either.
Yeah,
But SAO also has like 5 sets that run into it, so
realistically too, because Rieta and Ordinal Skill are the main ones that
Yeah.
matter, and Alicization to a small extent. But
There's minimum cards from it, but they matter.
I think where it's at right now is fine.
you like it right below GGO.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would say it's above GGO, but
They both said below, so get fucked.
I'm not a fan of
Alicization.
Move that up. Move that up to A tier.
yeah, that shit should be up in A tier.
I was gonna say D tier, but I mean they both voted.
Shut
Immediately.
Uh, so, Alicization has a really explosive end game, and the early plays in the deck are still not bad. You just lack in the level 0 to 1 compared to Avatar Net. You're still
You-
doing powerful things. You're still
Your
doing very
level 1 game. So the one thing I do like is like because I get to talk about this one. I know Alicization.
All right.
The level 1 Yu-Gi-Oh is very good at grabbing you pieces you need. Like it's very good at funneling your deck, getting you more pieces, giving you things to work with, but it just doesn't reach the power level of like, in my opinion, of like Goblin Slayer AOT. And then I think the only comparable build you can build is playing, in my opinion, is playing Yu-Gi-Oh Kirito build. Playing
You have
Yu-Gi-Oh 1-0 Kirito backend. Because like the Alice is just too unpredictable. You can't guarantee the damage off of the 3-2 Alice. And then you can't guarantee the reverse off a 5-5. Or I guess it's a 6, I think. But like you can't guarantee it because it's just the 1-0 Alice is just so small.
yeah.
I think in the
And then,
same
like-
vein. Sorry, finish.
No,
what
you're
you
good.
were
I was just, and then like green has like nothing going for it in the set. Green is nothing but a support color,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
but green does give you access to level 0 Cardinal and anti-damage.
That
relevant.
The level 0, the level
That is
0
very
Cardinal
relevant.
is one of my favorite cards in the set.
I also think that Graham is the best Alicization card that wasn't printed in Alicization.
Graham
I
is
don't know. Charlotte's really good. I think Charlotte's really good.
No,
Graham
I'm talking
is so
well,
good that I run an entire extra color of 4 cards, and it's 4 copies of Graham. That's how
It's-
good Graham is to me.
it does egregious things, and it's like arguably poor card design, but man, there's some powerful things you do with it.
Yeah.
I think that in the same way that Love Live and GGO are basically the same deck, just one's cheaper. Alicization and Bang Dream are similar. They run
Oh, yeah,
almost,
wait, yeah.
almost exactly like if you were to show somebody a Bang Dream deck and they'll be like, "That's a cool deck. I want to play that deck. How expensive is it? $400?
Yes.
I don't have that." You can show them Alicization, and it's almost the exact same deck.
If you put Graham to Saya and Yukina to Kirito, obviously, put them where they should be, then it's about the same, yeah.
Exactly.
You just
and
have, like-
even if you want to, you can also run an unsearchable stock swap in the deck.
I
It's
guess.
just a
Shut up!
character.
Shut up about running Yui. Stop it.
Hey,
So,
that card is great in my deck.
Okay, for what it's worth, you're probably confirmed another set of support, so you at least have that going for you if you decide to go into
For
the
sure.
Fortnite.
Alicization takes over the meta 20.
As of current, it is like bottom of A tier, still good, just not doing as powerful things.
I'd agree with bottom of A tier.
Okay.
All right.
Last set in B, we have Gurren
Move that shit up.
No. Keep it in
Not
B.
to A tier. Not to A tier. I mean in the B tier. Move it up in the B tier.
I think it's fair with that.
I think
Oh,
it's fair for
dude.
that too. I think it's
I think
worse
it's
than Sakura.
Way
I
better.
do
I think
get
it's
me-
way
you're
better.
fucked.
Yeah.
They beat you
get
on the
fucked.
majority.
It's-
Say yours. Give
Okay,
me a reason why, but they won the majority already.
I
Just
know they
that.
won the majority. This is my reason why. You can't argue with its results. It has really good results, and it has, in my opinion, 3 very very solid builds that do slightly different things, similar things, but slightly different things. And I think every single one of the end games that you have access to that are viable are better than Apocrypha's. Like they're just all more consistent, and they almost high roll in the same way that Apocryphas do, not quite as much, but they're all very very strong decks. It's really good at getting the pieces it needs. It has some obvious problems, but especially in the board, in the deck that runs the trial deck combo, you can set up so much good marker compression. Like it's just really good at not dying and finishing the game, and that's really strong.
Hey,
So.
and the Gurren Lagann breakdown is really really fucking cool. It's my favorite thing about the Gurren Lagann set.
I remember playing, I think it was Attack on Titan, and I was 3-23 apparently, and then I died to it, and I was really salty. And then my team got 9th.
You were what?
I was 3-23 apparently, and I died to the Gurren Lagann Sunder combo.
3-23?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 3 and 23.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Dude, it's really, like, when it goes off, it's cool as shit to watch.
Sunder combo.
So you guys like it where it is, though?
Yeah, I do like it where it's at.
I disagree, but they won. I disagree completely.
Rex, how you feeling? Do you like it?
I feel like it could be. I feel like it could be maybe above Sakura.
I can budge on being above Sakura.
We're gonna move it up 1.
All right.
Yeah, you got somewhere.
I'll take it.
Okay, so again, still took a long time. So the way we're gonna do this one then is I just want you to give me one good thing or one bad thing about these sets. These ones are gonna be a little easier to do, mainly because we're getting into more of the lower end of the sets. If we want to move it up, you guys can start talking about that. But I want to try and limit the amount of words being said because we are running very long. Okay, so Rayview Starlight.
Kaoruko, yay!
Move that shit up.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Keep it? Okay.
Top of C tier is fine. Kaoruko, yay.
Give me a good thing, give me a bad thing.
Kaoruko, boo. You have to play like a bunch of subpar cards because they say Kaoruko for Taba. And it enables your late game. It's really good, but man, the amount of cards you have to play to make it actually playable sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. I just think that finisher is really broken, and that kind of pulls it up, makes it kind of able to play out of its tier. But its mid game is just like the worst garbage ever. I hate it. Its mid game is horrible.
Rex, what do you guys say about it?
I agree.
Solid. Keep it right where it is. On to Excel World. How you guys feeling about Excel World?
Keep it where it's at.
It's bottom of C tier. Out of what we've talked about.
Really?
Of the two sets, it's where it's at. I think it's fine.
How you think,
I quite frankly think it needs to be where it's at. It actually does have a good end game. It has a decent mid game.
It has a very good end game, and the only problem with its mid game is it doesn't have a very defined mid game. Its mid game doesn't combo. Its mid game,
it does.
all it does,
it accelerates.
It combos in a sense, but like it pings itself to get advantage.
It's
if we're counting
hard loses to AOT.
If we're counting level 2, then you do have Nico, and that has an actual relevant combo on it.
But like I was talking more like level 1 to level 3 because that's what most decks do. But I guess level 2 counts too.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay, we'll keep it where it is. Talovru.
TLR's my baby. Move it up.
Yeah,
it's a below review.
Below review.
It's below review, but man, it's my baby.
They
Yeah,
play
dude, I
exactly
was
the
gonna say.
same.
Dude,
It's
I
just
want to
got-
play this now because everyone keeps talking about it. It sounds really cool.
It is my favorite deck from 2017. I loved it.
I think whereas Review has a really good like Slayer Fate matchup, but and its finisher is stronger at the high rolling. Tulovru has a really good Konosuba matchup, and its finisher is not quite
you
as
guys
strong
can't see
at the
that.
high rolling.
You guys can't see it, but my computer's running low,
Nice.
so we do need to run this up.
Okay.
Gotcha. I think
okay,
it's good.
let's
Just
let's
one-
move on.
Okay. Like I said, just give me a quick one good, one bad as we go through them, and then we'll try to place it.
Late game's
Tulovru,
good.
We placed it. Yep.
Yes.
Saber.
Coin- I put it as coin flip. It high rolls well. It low rolls stupidly well. And by that I mean its low rolls are real bad, but its high rolls are real good.
Real good. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's below
Where are we
TLR.
placing it?
But
Below TLR.
do you guys
would
agree
agree
below
with that.
TLR? Okay.
I would agree
You
with
good?
that. The new toys it has are pretty cool.
Right here, though. Right here.
hmm
Okay. No game, no life.
Personally, I think it's in B tier, but I'm sure y'all will argue against that.
Cards kind of suck. It's below coin flip, above Excel World.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
above
would-
Coin Flip for sure.
I think it's above coin flip. If you know what you're doing, you can actually do some pretty good stuff with it.
I think it's
Okay,
got multiple really cool.
Am I
strong
putting it
builds.
above Saber or below Saber?
above
Above
Saber?
Saber, below
That's
TFR.
fine. That's fine.
Okay. JoJo's.
Create an F tier.
Put it below, or put it below coin flip and above Excel World. I think it's got interesting cards, but
That's fair.
nothing
what-
stupid powerful.
One of the
It
things they
is.
were talking about on the other podcast was how it's a very good like well-rounded set, except for the level 3 game. The deck doesn't know what it wants to do.
That's a
It
that's a
doesn't-
very fair point.
It doesn't
Yep.
know where it wants to play.
It's
It's
level.
still
It's
like
lower
balancing
cards.
itself.
It's lower cards. You can pump out your level 3s for like your turn, and that's it. It's super weird. It doesn't understand what the point is of bringing the card out.
Well, I mean it is flavor, but that's
It,
besides
Yeah,
yeah,
Um,
it is. It really is.
The issue I have with the set is, and I think it's actually more so a player thing, is that nobody's actually defined what the meta build of JoJo is. So nobody knows what the set wants to do. But a lot of the cards are still like kind of whatever.
Yeah,
And-
they're good, but they're not like A tier, B tier good. They're just
yeah.
they're rounded. They're not
Mhm.
bad. They're not bad. That's it though.
Yeah.
There's not super good sides, and they're not bad. Oh man, we're running real low. Love
Got
life.
this.
I
Leave
don't
it
trust
there.
this actually.
Okay. So below coin flip, above JoJo.
Okay, everyone go with
Yeah.
this.
I
Okay.
would say leave it, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Do we want to just
Okay.
keep going?
Yep, we're just gonna keep going. Batman.
Jump
Leave it
that
there.
shit to B tier. Its results make it B tier.
No, I'll leave it there.
Leave it.
Leave it right here.
Yeah.
Nisekoi.
I
Leave
think
it.
Nisekoi is. Yeah, it's fair.
Fine where it is.
Yeah, it can-
Oh, there it went.
Oh,
we were so close.
yeah. Okay.
Are you guys able to pull it up on your thing?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
sent you guys the link
yeah,
if
we
you guys
can
can
pull it
pull it up. I can't pull it up because I'd have to like swing around the camera.
Yeah.
it's-
Oh, I thought you were talking about the computer like we were doing.
Oh
the
no,
thing
no,
on.
no,
I
no,
didn't-
no!
Okay.
I meant
I
the
have the-
software I'm trying to use.
I have the thing on a Google Chrome thing
Okay.
that I can pull up, but
Oh, I have it too.
yeah, let me see here if I can find it.
Dated list. Okay, here it is.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'm sharing it.
Oh, did
okay.
you- Connor pull it
So
up?
yeah, I
Yeah.
got it pulled up. I've got our consolidated list here.
Okay.
So
I can't see it too well, but don't worry about me. I don't have you full screen because I have to look at everybody.
a sec.
While I'm doing
a
this.
sec.
You're good.
I'm zooming it in for the cast.
Okay.
So
That would probably work. So right
These guys
now
fine.
we're on
we're
Monica.
actually about where we are.
Oh, we're at Monica.
Yes,
yeah,
we
we're
are
at
at Monica.
Monica.
I think this is
Okay.
fine where it's at.
I think it's better than Nisekoi.
Okay. I don't
I
have the
think
ability
it's-
to move this picture, but
You're good. So are we putting it above Nisekoi?
I'm okay with putting it above Nisekoi.
Okay, so I'm gonna make notes that way I can change it and make a copy list. But
I just think
Madoka,
Sayaka's Wish makes it better than Nisekoi. Sayaka's Wish is such a good anti-meta card.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that actually would hold it above.
Yeah,
Okay. How are you feeling about Miku then?
it's fine. It's fine.
And
Whatever.
the C tier is fine.
The
Yeah,
results
it
it had
does a
in
level
last
1
season
combo.
was a joke.
Do you guys
It does
like
a
where it
level
is
1
right
combo.
now?
That's
Yeah.
fine.
It'll be at the
It's
back end of
okay.
C.
Yeah, back
Okay.
end to C. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's move into D tier. How do you guys feel about Log Horizon?
Even
Me
D
personally,
tier.
I would say move it up to B.
Leave it at top of D tier.
Leave it.
Yeah, leave it.
No faith in your boy.
Yeah, fuck. Whatever.
I'm sorry, when you are physically unable to set up your entire end game, it doesn't matter how good your end game is.
I'll figure this deck out, and I'm gonna fuck you guys all up.
Okay.
Y'all see.
I'll
see.
see you when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So we'll move on to Cinderella Girls. How are you guys feeling?
put it above Nisekoi.
Yeah, that was a
Nisekoi?
mistake on my part. Put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, above Nisekoi. I would agree with that.
It's consistent enough. It has a good level
Put it above
1 and
Madoka.
a
We have
okay level
Madoka
3.
above. I'd put it above Madoka actually. Can anybody
No,
want
I
to
don't object.
Yeah. It's got an okay level 1 combo. It's got an okay finishing game. Monica can't really say that.
Okay.
You okay with that, Rex?
Yeah.
Okay. Cinderella above Madoka. Okay. Haruhi Suzumiya.
Put
It's
it
the
at the
worst set
bottom
in
of
the
D.
game. It is the worst set in the game.
It is hands down.
It's a
the worst.
pile.
Make an F tier, and then below that, make a double F tier. That's where Haruhi should be. It is trash. It is garbage.
Okay, yeah,
How
this,
are you feeling?
Definitely at the very, very bottom of the entire English
Back
meta.
of D. Back of D.
I do not object.
It is.
It literally,
Okay.
horrifyingly
if
bad.
anybody ever tries to build a deck for this set, there is like maybe 1 to 2 flow cards in the entire deck, and that is it. You can't push cards in it at all.
It's
Cards suck.
Okay.
there's one cool card in the whole. Okay, two cool cards. Now that I think about it, in the whole deck, and that's it. Like it's just trash.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about Ilya?
It goes above Log Horizon.
How dare you? I'll kill you.
Yeah. I'd have to agree, because Ilya can set up its end game better than Log Horizon can set it up, although they have the same problem.
So the thing is, even if both decks suck at like actually getting the specific cards in hand, with Ilya, sometimes you kill people out of nowhere.
Ilya's high roll is so high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
I'm
can
gonna-
agree with that.
I'm gonna figure out Log Horizon, and again, I'm coming for you guys.
All right.
See, that's the thing, though. It's hard to, say that, in an Ilya versus Log Horizon, Log Horizon might win.
Log Horizon might win against Ilya, but Ilya has
Versus
a way
anything?
better matchup against like everything else that exists than Log Horizon.
Yeah,
does.
that's why
Except
I'm
for
okay.
burn
with that.
decks.
You'll still lose because your cards suck.
You win against burn decks in Ilya because Ilya just like murders things from like 2-1.
Yeah.
We should probably move on.
This is your guys' podcast. I'm just
Yeah.
debating for my Log Horizon. That was four sets ago. Okay, how do you guys feel about Kill la Kill?
Below
I
Log
think-
Horizon?
Get below Log Horizon.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's got some really cool things going on, but it doesn't have the necessary tools to really set it up effectively. But its end game that it's going for is not as good as Ilya or Log Horizon.
It's the
Yeah.
only deck in the game where I've actively felt like I could never beat Nisekoi, for whatever that's worth.
Okay. Well, then below Nisekoi.
It's already below!
Connor, that was funny.
I'm
Give me
speaking
one
from experience!
Give me 1 second. I have to swing around to the other table. I remembered something. Give me 1 second.
How dare you?
You guys-
You're
you guys
extending
continue?
this podcast.
Okay.
You guys continue, start into Disgaea, but don't.
Alright.
I need to know where you guys are trying to put Disgaea so I can write it down later.
Okay.
Oh,
Give me one
bro,
second.
I got some opinions.
I
This
think Tank's
set is
coming.
criminally
My
underrated.
computer died, so it definitely shifted the thing.
Does
Uh,
Disgaea
Fix that real quick. I
go?
thought about that.
I think it
And-
jumps
Didn't you
from here.
just shift different?
It
change
does
the
not
scene,
jump
didn't
in
you?
tier.
I think it's
It
better
doesn't.
than Lock Horizon and the Ilya at the very least. I think it jumps
can-
in here.
Right now is screen sharing.
I think
I
it's
think
underneath
Spot
Ilya.
Here's the thing. Okay.
It's
Okay,
underneath
guys, we figured it
Ilya.
out. Sorry.
It's underneath Ilya, above Log Horizon.
My
I'm
computer
okay
died,
with
I
that.
didn't know my charger. And this is a very long podcast.
I'll submit to that.
So
but I
where are
don't
we
agree
putting
with it.
Disgaea, guys?
I think Disgaea has is better at setting up its game than either of those decks, and I think it has some tools that are just egregiously dumb if you set them up correctly. Like if you play the game the deck effectively, it has some tools that can just catch so many decks off guard, and
But
that's why
is
I think it's
it's
bottom of C tier.
but it is. Did you say bottom C tier?
Yeah, that's where I
I'm-
think it is.
I'm still inclined to believe that Ilya is a better deck than Disgaea, but it's worth. But Disgaea is better than Log Horizon.
I think Ilya's
How
got a better
dare you.
finishing game than Disgaea, but
How are
I
you-
think
how are you feeling,
Ilya's
Rex?
so bad at setting it up that
I was not expecting that comment from Connor.
What?
No, yeah, I was gonna. Well, I would pick it beneath Log Horizon.
Nice.
The
See, Rex has my back.
like it does some things. Like,
It does
Disgaea
some things.
has some good control options and some great cards that can
But-
blow out decks. The thing is, it is 100 times more consistent than both Ilya and Log Horizon because Laharl's so good.
Rug.
Right? That's why I think it's better than both of those decks at the very least. If you don't put it in C tier, I think you have to put it above those decks because it is so good at setting up what it wants to do.
You guys decide where are we putting it.
Rex,
Rex,
where
what
do
are
you
you
want?
thinking?
I'm still thinking it's just past Log Horizon.
I am
one
okay
above,
with it.
one above,
No, I mean one below it.
one below.
It's I can budge on it being one below Log. That's fine. That is acceptable.
Are you okay with this, Kyle?
I'm not okay with this. It's C tier, but
But he
whatever.
got majority voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Below log. Okay. Next, we'll talk about. I wanted to say fairy tale again. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about
Monster.
Angel Beats.
Tam,
I think
take
it's-
over for this man. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I think it's top of D tier.
I agree.
I can put
Uh,
Angle Beast at top of D tier.
I think it's got pieces that make it consistent enough to play its game, and I don't think its end game is actually. I don't think its end game is terrible actually.
If you're content with doing nothing at level 2 and then like having a mediocre end game with like shitty or like terrible advantage engines, and sure, yeah, it's like top of D tier.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm saying all these things, and I don't think any deck in D tier can actually say it has a lot of good things going for it. So,
I don't know. Does
I mean,
Log
I
Horizon
do
has
like
not
the
skill.
game.
No,
Log
Angel
Horizon
Beats
also
and
has-
Disgaea have both seen results in teams.
So has Log Horizon.
bug.
Huh? What?
I just think that it like we're
Hey,
arguing
I get it.
semantics. Put it
I
top of
get
D
it.
tier.
I get
Put
it.
put it
The
top
Angel Beats. Yeah, Angel Beats up at the top of D.
Okay.
I just like to argue with Log Horizon because it's like my pet deck, and I'll always argue for it because there's no reason not to. Okay, what are we doing with like the literal 2 worst sets in the game?
Hey, you shut your
They're
mouth.
not the literal 2 worst sets of the game.
My
They
bad.
go
Alright.
The
right.
literal
the worst
2
set in
worst
the game.
sets that are better than Haruhi.
That is all right.
I think Fairy Tale is above Kill la Kill.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Shut your dirty
I
mouth.
don't
Ooh.
put Fairy Tale above Kill la Kill. Just it's fine. It's
Just because you
fine.
meme on people with your quad color deck doesn't mean that every other person that
It's-
played Fairy Tale.
I mean,
It's-
like It has a
Why?
level 1 combo that's okay. Some people don't expect that. The level 3 game, if you get restanders and clock kickers, it does something.
It's the other important thing about Fairy Tale is that
It looks cool.
no you have like actual cards that give you card advantage, unlike Kill a Kill, because Kill a Kill is some sick XD card advantage. You're not getting
Yeah. You
you
have
get
to
like
brainstorm, you have to hit disguise,
you
What
have
a-
to you have to see playables on a draw brainstorm. You're playing either a bad 2/2 event or a bad 2/1 event. And your bad 2/1 event gets you bad cards. Your 2/2 event gets you like good cards, but you're also spending an extra stock on a card advantage thing.
Yeah, like I can consistently play a quad color fairy tale deck more than I could play Kill a Kill.
It's Kill a Kill has some cool things going for it, but man,
Oh,
can
I
you
love
get
Kill
there?
a Kill.
No.
Kill a Kill when it came out was very pretty. Like just like set art wise was very pretty set.
I'm just
I remember
saying,
playing
never
it and
stopped
losing to
being
Nisekoi
pretty.
consistently.
I still
Nothing
like-
made that set
still
look
like it.
worse. It looks just as good as when it came out. Now, does it play as good as when it came out? Absolutely not.
Shrug.
It's level 1 game. It does not look as pretty anymore.
Let's just get the last set
And
above.
Monogatari, where are we putting
Get
it?
it
Just
above
above Haruhi?
Haruhi. Yes,
Above Haruhi.
please.
It
This set's
can consistently set up its
trashy.
game. It's just its game is garbage.
This set is trashy.
Hey,
Absolute
It has
trashy.
no. Hold up. It has, if you run the yellow, it has a lovely Konosuba matchup because you can
Shrug.
field hexproofers against it.
Shrug. Let's just call it at that. Let's just
Okay.
call it at that.
Connor, keep that up for one more second. Okay.
Okay.
So this has been a
Okay.
long podcast, a very long podcast, but I'm gonna run through our tier list as it is right now. I have actually give me half a second so I can make sure. So we have Haruhi
Time's
done
up.
here. Ah shit. Haruhi, Mono, and then it's Disgaea, right? Oh wait, nope. Ah god. Oh,
I really
God.
think he needs to flip the entire tier list and read it backwards just to cringe everybody.
Cinderella, and then below Cinderella, or not Cinderella. Cinderella's above Madoka. So
Yeah.
Madoka's here. I have to like do this all by hand. Madoka is above Nisekoi. Haruhi's at the back. Ilya's above Log Horizon.
Let me think. I don't know if my thing's still. Okay, my thing's still up there. I'm going to find the
The tier list thing.
podcast thing. Yeah.
Ilya's up here. Sorry, guys. Kill la Kill is below. Well, I can see his, but this is the picture of our of the original list, and I was
Yeah.
editing a new list.
I'm getting the
Fairy Tail's
thing
up
up
here.
here.
If I was able to like pull everything, we have Disgaea and Kill la Kill below Log Horizon. Where are we putting Disgaea?
This
We
guy
agreed
at
that it was
least
better than Log Horizon.
better than Log Horizon, worse than Ilya.
I can live with that. I'm not happy
Yeah.
with it, but I can live with it.
Okay. Disgaea. Angel Beats is the top of. There it is. That's the top. Angel Beats.
The worst.
Monogatari is above Haruhi. Kill la Kill is above Fairy Tail's above Kill la Kill. Angel Beats is top of D. Disgaea is above.
Oh, is that what
Log
we agreed
Horizon.
upon?
Kill la Kill below Log Horizon, but Fairy Tail's above that. Okay, I got it. Right?
I'm
Cinderella, Nisekoi,
Organizing the
Madoka.
D tier is a science.
It's just because I don't have the thing. I can't do it. Okay, I believe I have it.
okay. I'm gonna try and I'm scrolling through things to try and get the tier maker thing up so I can just like
Yeah.
throw it on the Chrome window and
I'll do the best I can to try and figure this out as we go through it. Okay, so starting off at S tier, oh god, never mind. Oh shit, this one was a lot. Shit, I forgot about S tier. Oh no. Oh, we had so much that got fucked up. Oh, I need it. Okay, so if fuck it, god damn it, if I can pull, if I
So
can
that-
start for 5 seconds, we fucked up the entirety of the first half of this thing. Everything got
fine.
jumbled.
We went through all 2.5 hours of this for nothing.
Okay.
Acting
Tyler?
sucks.
Tyler, if you're listening to me, I'm writing it down right now. I'm going to write it down twice so that way it gets written in. Or if Tam's editing, I don't really know who's editing this. Put the tier list right here. I'm gonna make it. I just have to restart my computer and just start where we were at and add in the list I just made because I don't have the S tier and everything.
Hey,
But
man,
we're
you
gonna
know what
put
we need to do?
Huh.
We need to do next time is just have a mat in front of you with the tiers and just move cards around on that.
Go very analog with it.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so Tyler, just place the tier list from when I started talking to you specifically, Tyler. Place the tier list up on the screen so that way everyone can see it. This is what the tier list looks like, guys. It's gonna be a lot harder to try and rearrange it mid podcast as we're an hour and 45 minutes into this.
Think
Thank
still
you,
less than
everyone.
The other one.
So we had 3 people here, and they only took like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We
guys were a
have
little
very
long.
strong opinions on a lot
I
of stuff.
figured we were going to. Don't worry. Not gonna throw anybody under the bus or anything.
you.
I was like,
Hey,
where's Kyle at? I don't know
didn't
what
say your
box
name,
he's in.
Kyle. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us here in this podcast. Shout out to all the guys that stayed through with us on this. It was a long ride. Anybody who watched it, thank you for watching all of it. Let us know what you guys think about the tier list down below. Do you agree with some of these guys' opinions? If not, let them know. Tell them they're dumb. Yeah, this one right here. This one with the glasses. Not this one. This one I'm looking at right here. You could pick it who you want.